What's up, guys? Welcome to our, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly podcast sometimes, where we talk about anime and our Lord and Savior, my dad.
Nicolas Cage.
Let's see. We watched, two movies last night?
Yeah.
What was the Arcadian?
Arcadian
and
Dream Scenario.
Dream Scenario. Great movie, I'll say.
I didn't know Nicolas Cage was your dad, bro.
If you wondered what my dad looks like, you should watch the movie. It's a one-for-one recreation of him.
I think he's taller.
Did he reply, though?
Oh, he has a reply.
He's so upset right now, bro.
No, he's mad at me. Hi, Dad.
This is our fourth, obviously, I don't know if yearly or like bi-yearly
Nicolas Cage review.
Nicolas Cage episode.
What was the first one?
Damn, Nicolas Cage is 6 foot.
Damn. I thought he was shorter.
I thought he was like maybe 5'10".
Damn.
6 foot.
6 foot king.
I don't even remember what the first one was.
We did Renfield.
No, see, that was the last one.
That was, yeah.
We did Jiu-Jitsu, I think.
That was
That
before.
was
But
another
I think
one.
we did something with that one.
Yeah. But I don't remember what the exact first
Did
one
we do
was.
a ranking of all his movies?
Oh, Color Out of Space?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and
Mandy.
And the best one he's ever made, Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, yeah. We've had many, so this might be the fifth. This might even be
I'll
the
look it up.
fifth. But the point is, right? This is our dedicated episode to the one, the only Lord and Savior over there in the corner, Nicolas Cage.
Nick fucking
Cage.
Cage.
We also did that movie. But
Try to remember if we kind of we grouped some together like we're doing.
no,
here.
we're doing here, right? Because
Yeah.
this is just the Nick Cage episode. But today we're going to talk about Arcadian and Dream Scenario.
Please donate $1 to a podcast so we can have it again.
Let's talk about Arcadia first, since this is the newest one. People probably want to hear about it more.
It was
Sure.
It was in movie theaters not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's
It was
now
on-
on Shudder.
Yep. And I would like to say,
Nicolas Cage is not the main character.
no. The issue with Nicolas Cage, I think, right now in some of these smaller films, I feel like people buy him but can't keep him for long.
Well, or that's the thing. Maybe it's a rate, right? Maybe like
It's to bring people in.
Yeah. Well, no, there's that, right?
That's
But
true.
maybe there's like a going rate for like what he can do, right? For him to be
right.
the main character, it's like the infamous like 2 million,
2 million.
or whatever it is, right? But maybe for smaller roles, because I guess he needs a little bit extra, or I think he does enjoy doing.
Oh, yeah, he seems like to
these
do
smaller
fun.
films. There's probably a lower rate for like indie films, kind of how like Stephen King will sell some of his screenplays for like $2.
I wonder what his going rate is for podcasts.
So
I
someone
don't
knows,
think-
comment down below.
I don't think he's ever appeared in one.
It's probably like Willy's Wonderland, where he's like, okay, it's 2 million, but you get no lines. I'm like, I'll do it.
Well, maybe it's less. Maybe it's one.
With one and
Yeah,
If
1
you get
million,
one,
no
you get-
lines.
You get no lines, right?
But you're the main character.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe there's this thing, right? Because he's obviously not the main character. He is a side character. He's an important character,
Very important
but he's
character.
not the main character, right?
He
Which
was
is-
the main character the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then
That shit happens.
last 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. My hero.
So this movie is a post-apocalyptic thriller, kind of,
Yeah,
/ horror film, monster movie.
it's a monster horror.
No, monster horror movie taking
It
place
comes at night.
Yeah, taking place in some undisclosed location that looks like the UK or Ireland specifically,
It's
which is
filmed
not
in
part.
Ireland.
It's filmed in
Ireland.
Ireland, but everyone's wearing and sounds like Americans.
Yeah, except for the one guy.
Yeah, except
Yeah,
that one guy.
well,
So, undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location next to a large city.
Yeah.
Even though it's never mentioned what that city is or anything like that.
I think it's supposed to be just like here, it's general U.S. area.
Yeah, sure.
General East Coast.
Yeah.
yeah. It definitely has more of an East Coast vibe than the West Coast.
Oh yeah. Natural greenery, sheep. Which honestly, I
I don't think
don't
I've
know.
seen
This-
many sheeps in my day.
I don't think it's the U.S. I think it's just expats that were in
moved up to
Ireland,
Ireland.
or the UK or whatever.
It
this
doesn't
takes
really
place.
explain it.
No,
'Cause even the opening scene when it has a blown up city,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it's like a city you would know of.
No, because this movie is not really interested in the world building of the apocalypse as much as it is just in this minor little character drama and making interesting looking creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, he's Nicolas Cage. He's a single dad with 2 baby kids at the beginning of the apocalypse. Obviously, they're teenagers now. And they live in a farm.
Yep, they live on a farm. There's some other farms in the valley,
Allegedly.
of which we only see one in this film.
But there's allegedly another 23 people.
Yeah.
Well,
And split in different farms.
At the end of the movie.
Yeah. So, but it shows like very standard, almost like zombie apocalypse beginning, where it shows them, living in the farm, doing stuff, shuttering and boarding the house.
You gotta get home before the sunset.
Yeah.
Usual Minecraft, you do your crafting during the day so you can hide at night.
Yeah, exactly. So they're playing Minecraft here in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Live action Minecraft.
Live action Minecraft. And then you get a little taste of the horror outside, right?
Yeah.
You hear the banging on the door. There are foreshadowing to the things might be more intelligent than they might seem. So it doesn't go out of the way to be like zombie apocalypse. Like, it's not like this is a zombie.
Could be alien.
Yeah,
it could be just a monster.
I mean, there's a scene where 2 teenagers are like, "Oh, explain the apocalypse in 10 seconds," and one is basically like, "Oh, it was the bugs."
Yeah.
And then another one is like, "It's werewolves or
The
some
purple haze.
mutation." Blah blah blah. Nobody knows.
Yeah. So none of them know like what caused it. They just know there's things that exist that go bump in the night and want to do something to you.
Yep.
And that's kind of how it is. And it's obviously just is like your standard character drama in this type of scenario. You have 2 kids. You have the
horny teenager.
You have the horny teenager.
And your nerd teenager.
And, your nerd, your super smart nerd teenager, with their dad being Nicolas Cage.
I think the movie would have been good if it was just them 3 dynamically, and that's all you dealt with.
I thought, when I saw the commercial, I thought it was just that. It was just them 3. And I was like, what the fuck, this other farm shit?
Yeah, because I think it would have been better. It would have been more focused, less like you could have had more scenes with like learning what the monster is, what's going on, with them trying to figure out within their small 3-person family.
No, I like that, and I do like the beginning of it. And I do like a little bit of the mystery of what what it is. But I feel in every single one of these like post-apocalyptic whatevers, the easiest way to artificially inseminate drama is to
Add
just
more humans.
add more humans.
This year to me is like it's the same thing when you do zombies.
Yeah.
It's like season 1, movie 1.
Yeah.
It's all about
The zombie threat, yeah.
or the threat. Period. And then season 2 is about like let's add humans to the threats because it makes it more drama filled.
Yeah.
Not the only thing you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Shit.
But like going to the family, the other family, they never felt like they were a threat. They never felt like they were going to be helpful. They just kind of felt like they were there.
Yeah. Well, I think they exist to a couple things. They exist to appear to be greener pastures.
Yeah.
Right, because if you
They
look
have
at
green farms, they have animals.
They have animals. It looks protected.
They have a
Everybody's
hot
got
chick they
guns
wanna
and stuff.
fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's more people there.
There's more people there. There's like a full dynamic of because it's like 10 people.
It was
Yeah.
a compound.
Yeah, it's like a mini compound,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So compared to like their dingy little farm with just the 3 of them, right? It looks like greener pastures.
Yeah.
And so that's what exists as. It doesn't really exist to be an antagonistic threat. It just exists to be a threat to the family dynamic because it looks better.
Yeah. I understand why it's there. It just
Yeah.
feels like it's a movie number 2 scenario.
Basically, the main struggle is that the horny kid goes and visits this other farm
With this horny
frequently
kid.
because there's another teenage girl in there, obviously. Which pisses off the other brother because they have shit to do at the farm, and the dad's like, "Do this," and I'm like, "But I want to go see my girlfriend," and that's the tension.
Yeah, it's what breaks that family dynamics when you have this kid that believes the other place is better, so he kind of leaves.
Until they fuck him.
Well, he was trying to steal stuff.
It was given to him.
I don't know. Like that whole other compound just didn't feel right. Like there's nothing about it I liked. Like even the people when he steals the drugs
Yeah.
didn't feel like they were ever there to show like they were meant to be evil or against them. Like I feel like the only scene you see that is when he comes to help him, they were eyeing him weird.
Yeah.
But it never felt like there was that much tension.
No, and I think they're just. I think there's a lot of visual shorthand in this movie because the thing with movies like this, right? It's only an hour and a half, right? It's not like it's
really short.
That's
it's
also
not
shaky, huh?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Not right now, but it is like it's a 90-minute movie, right? It's not very long. There's not a lot of things to establish. So when you have like an indie movie like this that is a genre film, right?
Yeah.
You use a lot of visual shorthand because it's easier than explaining things because there's so many tropes in that genre and so many things that we're used to from that type of film that we can just be like, oh, this is this scene that we have to scratch off the box, right?
Yeah.
This is this scene. And I feel like that's what those people are. They're not actively antagonistic. They're not an active antagonist, right, to these people. They're just meant to feel, oh, this is the other farm. But if shit goes south, then they'll do what every other person in that thing does and be like, well, fuck everybody else, right?
I think it was introduced when they brought in the dad and they're like, he's dying, we need help. And they're like, well, we ain't got enough shit for all of us. So, you know, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, it's meant to, I mean, that scene, right, is meant to highlight the naivety of like the stupid, horny kid, right?
Fuck that kid.
Or
No,
even,
but he's just too stupid, though, I feel like.
I don't know, man.
In this scenario,
I feel like there's a lot of people like that.
Very teenager.
Very teenager, very.
Remember we watched that Tunnel movie, the anime movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that.
But I feel like it's different when you have an actual family member dying in front of your eyes, and then you go, you know what, but the horny girl.
No, but
it's like, I feel like
but
your
the thing
family at that moment is probably more important
yes,
than you fucking.
But it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's exacerbated by everything that's happening, right? So what he sees is an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity to, one, help his dad, which that is important to him. It is. But also to do the other thing that he wants to do, which is basically merge with this other farm, right?
He's thinking with his dick right
now.
Yeah,
exactly. So there's still the immediate response of, yo, my dad's hurt and he needs help. But at the same time, it's like, yo, I got this brilliant idea. I could help him.
I don't think he had. I don't think he had any idea.
No. But the thing is, it's not conscious, right? It's not a conscious. I'm doing this, right? No. It's like it's a subconscious. Yo, everything I want to happen can happen if we do this.
I think it was more the dad thing situation. He wants to help him. They're like, oh, let's go to the farm, and they're like, no, we can't help you. And then they were about to leave, but that's when the other brother called them out, like, now, dude, you did this because of your stupid horny ass.
Yeah.
And he got upset because he called him out, and then because he was up there, like, fine, fuck you. I'll stay with this family.
And that's all the conflict of this film, right? All the conflict is this kid being, being a selfish teenager, right? Which I guess that's what it is. Where the other brother, is your standard neurotypical, right, kid that looks at the situation just differently, right, with his own behavior and stuff. And he's the one that always calls out the other one's bullshit because he understands the situation everybody's in. Yeah. Even with that thing with the dad, and he's just like, yo, do you really think they're going to help us? Like, no, of course not. It's like, I wouldn't help us, right? Yeah. Because he understands the overall situation, where I feel like this other brother is like, coddled to a certain degree where he can't comprehend how bad it is because he sees the sunshine and rainbows on the other side.
Yeah, but at that point, if I was the other brother, I'd be like, no, you go and bring medicine back.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work,
but he's also a pushover, right?
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the issue is like there's no dynamic between them two that was like a give and take. It just felt like he was just there to do roles so the other brother can fuck it up.
Oh, of course.
At all times.
Oh, yeah.
I call it a monster, useless.
Yeah.
I did this, useless. And it's just like, it felt like he was almost, every time he was on screen, it was to fuck something up for no reason.
No, yeah, that's what he is. He's just a foil.
Yeah.
His character, that's what I said.
And I'd rather have the monsters be the foil at that point. Because, they're intelligent. That's what you've learned throughout the movie. But it just felt like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. Like, even when they were doing the monsters were doing traps, it's like, why were they starting to learn these? I felt like there's so much we could have learned from the monsters.
Oh, of course. Like I said, there could have been so much done in the world building as a whole, right?
Yeah.
And just expanding like the creature, the monster in a monster movie as the threat. But I feel like interhuman drama is a crutch that a lot of these movies use, and that's what they decided to go with.
Yeah. It's like Halo. You need to have dialogue and facial features so we can know what everyone's feeling at all times.
Yeah, because in any of these types of films, that's always the case, right? Interhuman drama is always the crutch because a lot of people like drama.
Yeah.
Right. And so but the thing is when you're shooting for a monster film like this, where it's not your typical zombie, because I feel like in a zombie film, it's a lot easier to get away with it because everyone knows what a zombie is.
Yeah. It's
right?
easy. You go, okay, you just tap it in the head. We move on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what the threat is. Maybe you might spice it up a little, go like the 28 days later and they can run or some bullshit.
Or fucking World War Z movie where they run up each other.
But the point is you understand conceptually what a zombie is.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it. It's a background piece to human drama. Where in this case, you have such... I will say interesting creature design.
I wish they would have kept it a secret for longer.
I don't think... I think it was fine.
Well, it's not that long a film.
I know, but like...
and you don't
it got
see...
introduced halfay point.
Yeah.
Which I would have liked it to be seen at
the end.
Like the last third of the movie.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I do like seeing pieces of it.
Yeah.
Like,
because I think that's the part I like about it being introduced when it was. It wasn't like... I saw a lot of it. It was like little scenarios, like the finger thing. That,
Yeah.
Like
that scene was nice.
Yeah.
Like that didn't even show anything really. It just showed his
the
fucking,
arm. Yeah.
his hand coming out and trying to touch him. And then you don't really see him. Like when they capture him, it's still really dark.
Oh,
they don't show it. I feel like when they actually fully show it is about the 3/4 point where it's like this is what the creature can fully do.
Yeah.
So what it looks like.
I didn't mind the pacing for the creature.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like the scene where they kill it in the house is a little
Waste.
It's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
It's a weird scene. It doesn't feel right.
But it feels like the creature's also scared, like way too scared for what it is. It's like, oh, I gotta be afraid of the thing that caught me, and then it runs away, and then it fights back.
Well, it's like
the sunlight in the room.
Well, it's like any creature, right? It's like the fucking rat people in Shinsekai Coyote, right? Well, you know what I mean, though, where like the individual is afraid of the human, but as a collective, we're gonna fuck up their shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's what this creature is. And
Strength in numbers.
Yeah, strength in numbers, right?
Because these strength in one seems very strong with these creatures too.
Oh yeah, but even if the creature is an amalgamation of all these other things, right? Because that's what it is. It's still it has the archetype of being vermin.
Yeah.
Right, and it acts like vermin.
What I would have really liked, I think, at either the halfway point or towards the end, because you know how we see him eat like the person.
Yeah.
That scene I couldn't. I think the movie's a little too dark. Maybe it might be just like the screen we're watching it on, but it's like I wanted to understand what was going on there. It'd been interesting, like when he fell down the well, and the dog went to go find him, whatever.
Yeah.
And it'd have been interesting if he fell onto like a layer of them. You can see like maybe digesting people.
Yeah.
I can't talk.
Like even if you don't see the creature, seeing like what they're capable of, I think would introduce
it's like Alien
would make them scarier.
Yeah, it's like Alien when you find the eggs.
Yeah.
It's not a scary scene. It's just like, oh, so they reproduce by eggs, and then they turn into this little fucking creature, and they suck each other's faces, which is hot, but it's like
they
what the heck's
they
going
do
on? Which I thought was
amazing.
And I do like the creature design. I do think it's funny that the director said that Goofy was one of the inspirations for it. But
like once you said that, I'm like, I can see it now.
I see it.
Yeah, the weird horse head.
Yeah.
Or it reminded me of, like I said, that Bloodborne boss. It's Ludwig, right?
Yeah. Streamer, I love that guy.
Yeah, totally. But it's like the weird horse monster head thing, and but
because they even showed it in like good frames where I guess you could pause it and like fully look at it. And it looks good. Like
they're cool.
Surprisingly, like a monster film in this day and age, you can still do interesting designs.
It's a cool creature, and the fact that it's like a mixture of like all these different animal types, where you have an extendo arm, they're covered in bugs or like bugs come off of them.
Deal with them. Yeah. That didn't make sense.
Maybe it's like what's it called when they help each other live.
Yeah, like there's like a symbiosis to it.
Yeah.
Right. They're symbiotic creatures because there's a insinuation that the world fell to pollution or some bullshit,
Yeah,
right?
because like when the kid goes scavenging, he gets caught with all the little
bugs.
roaches.
Roaches, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, maybe he's gonna bring it back. That's where we'll get it. Like maybe they come from the bugs. Maybe they're were bugs. Like that would have been interesting.
I first thought they were like bug creatures, like giant cockroaches or something like that.
Terraformers from like that one anime.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Giant cockroaches.
The
They're from
terraformers.
Mars. Yeah.
But it's such an interesting character design and a concept for a creature that I do feel like is wasted in interpersonal drama.
Because I feel like this movie, if you take out the people and maybe leave the main three, and you can still have him go off to supposedly go see this girl, but just don't show it because it's just kind of obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
If you take that out, add a little bit more like mystery in the monsters, maybe like when he, you know how he starts to dissect the creature, maybe you find something interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was also a waste of a scene. He dissected the creature after
And then
they
there's
killed
nothing
it,
that comes out
and
of it.
he didn't learn anything, or there was nothing given to us to tell us maybe this will help him in the fight.
Yeah.
It just felt like, oh, here's another scene we need to, like you say, check mark off the box, and we'll just move on.
Yeah.
I think it was just more to drive more drama between the brothers. Because definitely he was gonna study it to see how they can fight back or whatever, because that's what he wanted. But this other dude was like, "No, I'm gonna kill it now," and then they killed it.
Yeah.
And it's
But I said, I just
fucking
mean the
waste.
dissecting scene at that, like after, just felt
Yeah.
like it was just wasted.
It never
Wasted
led
like
to
10
anything.
minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes, whatever it was.
maybe it's just like the cut of the movie. He's
Yeah.
a director's cut.
Maybe the
this
real
missing
movie's
scene.
5 hours long.
Yeah.
But they said if you take all the humans out, I think this movie would have been like a pretty good movie, like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I would have
But
bet. Yeah.
the only other issue I had was just, dialogue. The camera was pretty good the whole time. They had that good stable shot.
Those zooms, bro.
That one zoom.
The one
I'm
I'm
like, motherfucker doesn't have a follow focus. Can't just like.
But it wasn't even like a zoom. It was like a, like when you use your phone and you're
Yeah, it
recording.
was like a
But it was like if you did, like you moved maybe quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
And like I could still see the rest of the scene. It's not like you zoomed in much. It didn't focus on anything differently either. It just
It
wasted.
felt like a stylistic zoom that didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like the quick zoom.
Yeah.
But it's not a movie that uses those. It's the only time that appeared, and I'm like, why was this choice made? Why did you do
I
this?
gotta look up something.
Also, this is like the shakiest handheld cam movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Dude, there's scenes where they're not moving.
I mean,
like
like Cloverfield bad, but
it's like if we're talking now for like 10
Yeah.
minutes, the guy's still like, he's like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
tired,
but
boss.
at least the thing with Cloverfield, right, is it's kind of expected. If a person's holding a fucking camera while they're running from giant creature, it's gonna be a little shaky, right? That's fine. I understand this. This is okay. But this is not that. This is not first person. This is not found footage. This is a dude with a camera. When stabilizers exist.
they couldn't afford a real guy.
Fuck
a real camera guy.
YouTubers can use a fucking cat like a DJI Ronin or something like that. I mean, it's not end of the world,
I'm just trying to see if there's like what it was filmed on.
No, I tried looking it up yesterday.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I couldn't find anything.
Movie's pretty mid though.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I think as
I had
a,
high expectations.
Oh well.
It looked good from the commercial. I'm like, dude, I want to see this shit. And it has Nicolas Cage. Sold.
monster trailer. And then, what'd you rate it?
6.
Oh, okay.
That camera puts it at a 5.5 for me. I can't do
Wow.
it.
It
I
had
can't.
it had potential, but
Yeah.
like certain parts of the story just really turned me off.
Because like for me, like it gets the Nicolas Cage bump, which an extra
right.
point already.
That's understandable.
I still give it like a 4.
Yeah, it's like a 5.5.
I think this movie, I just don't like the story. I think the
No.
story in this really hinders it
Yeah.
for me. And the camera just really.
Oh, good lord.
Because
man.
like in the first scene, I remember saying, I'm like, God, the camera's hurting my eyes. Because it felt like the frame rate was off and the shaky cam was like extreme.
But
So it just hurt. I was
that
like,
could have been just a stutter, right? Because
Yeah.
they're filming it obviously probably at 24 FPS.
Well, yeah. Plus,
But-
we're also watching it streaming, so you
Yeah,
never
yeah,
know what
it-
we lose.
But the shakiness, like even if you consider your standard like handheld shot,
Yeah.
like there's so many ways to keep that steady, especially on a static shot.
Yeah.
I understand movement shots. There's movement.
Yeah, or you're doing a fight scene. You want to make it more dynamic. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Whatever's right. I get that. But I mean, for like a static just dialogue, even if you are shooting it like what they call documentary style, right? Which is just, run and gun handheld. I mean, documentaries ain't shaky.
The steadiest shot was when they were in the side by side,
and it was
because it was a fucking probably like Insta 360 bolted onto the rail.
I'm surprised it wasn't the guy just running next to him. He's like, "Yeah, keep driving, guys."
I got it.
Oh my god, the last shot of the movie, the credits right, the movie's like,
oh, dude. Oh.
I'm like, get that man a sling, get that man an armrest. Homeboy's tired holding that camera up.
If you need a cameraman, I bet you I can hold it steadier than that, man. I'll do it.
Most like high-end cameras have like in-image stabilization as well. I mean, I don't see where this is coming from.
It was multiple directors, right, in this movie?
Well, there's one.
It's one director.
There's a lot of co-directors under.
The fucking co-director.
Fuck if I know. But there's a lot of co-directors under. There's like 3 of them.
Okay.
But there is one, the credited, if you like go to IMDb or
Benjamin Brew. Because I went to click on him because I want to see what he did. Basically, I think this
he was one of the big proponents of the creature design. Also, I guess the creature was going to look more cartoonish. And Nicolas Cage was like, "Nah, fam, you gotta make this bitch look more real."
He's done 10 movies, but some of them are like shorts.
Oh, of course,
there's like a Skrillex and Duplo featuring Justin Bieber music video.
Yeah, he did.
It's like,
cartoonish monster.
The big thing,
because it was going to be a little more goofy.
Yeah.
The big thing he's known for is Everything Everywhere All at Once visual effects.
So he worked on, because I mean the visuals are good here. Like the CGI for the creatures and the mocap.
There's one visual effect I'd argue is bad. I don't know if it was. No, I thought that was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
No, it was when Nicolas Cage was sitting by the water.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was VFX
or the waterfall,
or if that was just really bad camera shooting.
That might have been.
I couldn't tell.
It could have been.
But that one scene.
It could have just been very, very bad lighting on a.
Yeah, because it looked like the water was moving at a weird frame rate compared to the rest of it too.
Yeah, but that could have been in lens, in camera issues. But it does look like there's a green screen behind him.
It does.
Well, let's talk about the other film.
All right, Dream Scenario.
My dad movie.
We needed a palate cleanser after that.
Oh
movie.
God!
Sure, this was one fucking hell of a palate cleanser, I guess.
This hurt.
Yeah, this hurt me.
This was like cringe the movie.
Okay, what were you expecting out of this movie before you watched it?
As usual, I go into movies blind. And so the only thing I had was I'm like, Nicolas Cage is in it. Looks like my dad. There's dreams. Maybe we're going for an Everything Everywhere All at Once type of movie. Because it's like maybe Inception-y. But I did not expect this. I thought maybe he was going to jump through dreams, not just people dreamed about him.
Oh, no, I expected cringe. I just didn't think it would hurt so bad as it did. Because I watched the trailer when it premiered on, I think it was, South by Southwest?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, when this movie premiered.
Immediately when that one watches.
Well, this is your kind of thing, though. Yeah. This is, you love the cringe.
Yeah.
Or the awkward scenario or whatever's, right? Because that's what this is. This is an awkward dude. Nicolas Cage plays them so well.
He plays awkward dudes and crazy people perfectly.
So well.
I will say the best thing about this film, about any Nicolas Cage film, is if he gets like solo time to fucking spew some dialogue.
That's great.
It's the best thing you'll ever hear.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, the apology scene. Top tier.
Yeah, it's cringy as fuck, but it was top tier.
That's great, and I think it's just his willingness to go that far.
Yeah, because it's
like to sell the character.
Yeah, it's like Renfield when he comes out of the place and it's like, "Who are you?" I'm the Dark Lord. He does all the small lines. Yeah. It's like that's all you need
because he goes all in.
Yeah.
He just goes hard, right? Yeah. Which I mean. That also means I don't think he's much of an actor for subtlety. Sometimes, I mean, Pig I think is a good example.
Pig was really good.
Is a good example of this. But when Nick Cage can go hard, it's great.
I'm not a guy that likes plays. Like I've seen too many in my life. I'm tired of them. I feel like I want to go see. The single man plays. I want to see it, but
with Nicolas Cage,
just Nicolas Cage. I think would actually be really good.
Nicolas Cage soliloquy.
Yeah, I think it would be really good.
But. I mean, the movie's fine. It's
I think the movie's really good.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I like the satire.
Yeah, the satire and like making fun of. Well, because I think that's what it is basically, right?
Making fun of cancel culture.
Well, a little bit of that, or just the entertainment industry in general, or how the entertainment industry or viral culture, right?
Yeah.
It so quickly picks things up and puts them down.
Yeah.
Right?
I also feel like this movie is also going to be it has like I don't know what the right word would be, but it feels like they're trying to talk about AI coming up, where it's like, I'm not doing this. This was fake
Oh yeah.
news.
I never took it like that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, but that's how I kind of pictured it towards the end, where it's like, this is not me. Like, I'm not making you sad or depressed.
Yeah.
It's a fake thing of me.
Imagining me doing this. I didn't do anything.
So that I could also see being like almost like a poster thing of like, this could be wary of AI in the future, because this could happen to real people.
Oh, of course.
I love the idea of ads in my dreams. I hope to not live to when that's real.
Speaking of ads in your dreams, you should buy our stuff on the internet right now. Anyway,
I do feel like obviously it's the tragedy of this type of human, right? This type of person, where what happens when you take someone like this who, to a certain degree, feels slighted by the world, right? And you give them like all this exposure and power and stuff, and you see how they take it and what happens, and then what happens when you take that away, right?
That's that movie.
Yeah, who this person is. Like, it is sad. I mean, I understand, like, he's not like the best type of person, but he is an everyman, right?
Yeah.
He's like what you would picture a lot of people reacting to some of the things, right?
He's not like the worst human being on earth. Those are the people trying to sell ads in your dreams. Those are all bad people.
Fuck those people.
But he's just like, you feel for him, because you're also seeing his side of the story. You don't really see their side. You know
what he is to me? He is I guess a separate timeline version of Walter White.
Because he's bald, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but I mean, because they have very similar origins.
Yeah.
Right? Where like the world beats him down. You take in Breaking Bad, for instance, you see Walter White as a chemistry teacher, but allegedly he was like smart enough to be part of like some big firm or something or in chemistry, and he just didn't do that.
Yeah.
Right? And he feels beaten upon by those people and stuff like that. He feels slighted by the world. His life is mundane. There's no excitement to it. Yeah. So obviously when excitement is introduced, he grabs it, right? Yeah. And it carries him. And you find out that the person underneath isn't like, the best person, but you can easily see why they would go down that way.
Yeah. It feels like a man who touched the top of the mountain and slid down it.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to get back up there.
Like I said, this is like a very cringy, weird, trippy version of like what Breaking Bad did with Walter White.
What's the cringiest scene that you died in this movie?
Obviously, it's the one scene. The sex scene was pretty rough.
That was rough, man.
I'm just like,
I just let you like, oh my, this is so bad. I'm like, dude, it gets worse. Is this the point? Nah.
Because you are climbing the cringe mountain until it becomes sad boy hours.
Because I think that's the cringiest part. Because I do feel like the part where he's trying to sell his story, Sprite's trying to sponsor him or all that shit. I feel like that's cringe because it's real. Because this probably happens to people all the time. Where it's like, I want to do this because I'm popular. I mean, becoming popular.
You made a viral TikTok or something, right?
And I want to make my life into this, but everyone that wants to give you money wants you to go in this other direction.
Well, it's like I feel this way about a lot of like the old like Vine stars, right? Like the What Are Those kid, where he goes on Oprah and just gets like a lifetime supply of Vans or whatever bullshit, right? but it is like that, right?
Yeah.
It is exactly like that.
He's buying those Vans and reselling them. But
all the same size.
It's size 5.
Because that's what this is, right?
Yeah.
It just so happens that the person going through it is probably the least interesting person anyone would ever think of.
Which I think makes the movie great.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you followed either like some crazy dude or some like really energetic guy, it wouldn't hit the same. No. You wouldn't feel like, this guy's trying to sell things. Because I feel like in this scenario, if I was in this scenario, dude, I'd be fucking grabbing up that Sprite sponsorship like it was going out of style. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Let's try to get the money now. I don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah, you're like, let's go.
Just fuck it. Where he's like, no, he's sticking to his guns. He's like, this is what I want. Fuck everything.
He has a very old way of looking at things as well. Because obviously because we also grow up in now the age of the internet and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So we understand. We see something like this and we're like, opportunity, let's go.
Yeah. But I also feel like he's not there for the money.
No,
but if he does,
ego boost.
yeah, it's the ego boost.
It does. It's also like the golden handcuff effect. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's where like you're in such a good position right now in life. It's like, why give up that to try to do better?
Yeah,
because you're making.
Because I think now that I think about it, he is a different form of narcissist, right? Because that's what he is, right? He's definitely narcissist. He's a very selfish person, and his image of himself is everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's what like this situation pokes holes in that idea of how he views himself and how he views the world through that lens. It's not like your typical what we think of a narcissist, right? But that's what he is.
No.
And so it's interesting to see him go through this, and that I think part of that narcissism, part of that pride and ego is what makes his journey interesting, because like you said, he does stick to his guns, but that's why, right? That's why, because that's his ideal image of himself. That's what should be.
I want to be a published author.
Yeah, and not even that. It's a published author of like some niche subject.
It's like, you could be, but it's like you're not going to become popular from it. Like even if he did like make his book and wasn't about dreams and stuff, he probably would have been like, a no-named author, but someone would have read it.
Well, but even then, right? It's like he didn't care about like the big fame, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he liked the ego boost of people actually
who
paying attention to him, right? But even when he said with the book, he only wanted to be popular in his field, right? That's all he really cared about.
Yeah.
It's like his vision wasn't that grand. It's just like, I want to be number one in my sphere.
Yeah. Well, like his whole spiel at the beginning, it was just basically begging this other researcher, like just what's it called, like
cut me in.
Yeah, cut me in. Like I helped you develop this or whatever, and I'm not even like a co-writer or like whatever.
My name's not on.
It's not. Yeah, it's all he wanted.
Yeah, he just wanted his name out there, so it's not like he wants to die a king. He just wants to be there, not as a peasant.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's also like your standard. You have a poor person that'd be more than happy to win $10,000, but then they win like the Mega Lotto.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what.
And then they burn it all.
Yeah, and you watch as their life just goes careening down into the abyss. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. I think it's just like the idea of what virality and fame can do to a person in certain conditions, and how it'll just take them up, spit them out, and I mean,
and then you become popular in a different country.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, which is fine.
Exactly.
What'd you think of this movie? Like, give it a rating. I think I like this movie a lot more. I gave
it an 8.
This is what I think. I think it's an 8. Like, I was cringing and I hated it, but for what it was doing, it's a really good movie.
I was 8. I really like this movie.
I want to watch it again.
8.5.
Yeah, it's like an 8.
Yeah.
The feeling it reminded me of is when I watched The Lobster. It's very, very similar. Do you ever see that movie?
This is more watchable than The Lobster, though.
Because it's funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But by the end of this film, I felt similarly.
I've been meaning to watch it. I haven't put it on.
Because the end of The Lobster is it's like this. It's just kind of
soul crushing.
It's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
I feel like the ending for this was depressing, but you can see it going up again. Like,
possibly.
It felt like it took the roller coaster. The last few scenes where his life just fucking spiraled straight down.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the last scene was like a little bump.
It's
going back up.
bittersweet because I think at the end he did kind of achieve what he wanted.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Yeah.
At what cost?
But I feel like maybe at some point he might get back together, or at least he'll be closer to family. Like, I feel like he's was trying to change that, but it's one of those it just ends.
Well, that's the thing. He hit rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
So he just has to crawl his way out of the hole now.
Yeah. So he climbed to the top of the mountain, slid all the way down, and now he's there.
Or a nice house for being a professor.
See, I thought that too. I'm just like, dude, tenured professors make that kind of money? I'm like, I don't think so.
His wife was an architect.
I think it's probably like they both
Yeah.
did good. It was they're older, so
It's
easier
they
to
got that property before it all went to shit.
it's easier to save money then than now, right? World.
They're like, we bought this one. This was
Because
only
that was a fucking
pennies.
nice ass house, dude. I was just like, fuck.
Nice neighborhood.
It was a nice neighborhood. Dude.
I could see him probably made arguably good money of that.
Because
Time
it's like New England East Coast too.
Yeah.
It was
It
basically
was
that
Massachusetts,
style.
I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what the ID said for a second.
Oh, okay.
Is Osler a real university?
Is which one?
Osler is that
I
a
have
real
no
university?
clue. Probably not.
But it's supposed to be just like a play on your standard New England Ivy League.
Yeah.
Or
I don't think it was
IE
Ivy
or
League.
like adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like Surprise Michael Sarah.
Yeah. Surprise Michael Sarah was great.
And what's it? All the people at the dining room table were all like famous actors and
Oh,
actresses.
yeah.
I'm like, I've seen that guy. Why is
That
he in
guy.
here?
Yeah, that guy.
Who's it directed by too? Or someone famous, wasn't it?
Probably. I don't
You guys
know.
were talking about.
It was produced by Ari Aster.
Oh, that's
it's
what
produced
it was.
by Ari
Okay.
Aster, yeah. I don't remember who it was directed by.
I'll look it up real quick, but I don't know. I said it was a fun movie. I will never watch this again because I don't think I can handle
Handle it?
it.
I don't know. Nick Cage's performance in this movie is top
It
tier.
is very top tier.
I
It's very
think
good.
For me, I think top 5.
Top 5 Nick Cage movies. Interesting.
Well, performances. I don't know. Movies.
Christopher
Well, maybe the
Borgli.
Okay.
Borgli.
Top 5.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't know. He was the writer and producer of it.
Oh,
Or
interesting.
director.
Director, yeah.
He hasn't done much.
Interesting.
16 movies. But yeah.
Dream scenario. Nicolas Cage.
I'll say I love the movie about my dad.
I am your nightmare.
My dad looked like. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and someone was standing in the corner. And I just rolled back over and I'm like, I'm going to sleep on this side today. And I'm not going to look
I
at
remember
something.
watching that thing today and I'm like, what the fuck?
I saw it before we stop. I do want to talk about the scene. I like the part where she's like, go in the corner. He's just like,
More back in the corner.
like, there's too much light. It's just awkward. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yep.
We'll be probably watching more Nicolas Cage at some point in our lives. Probably soon. We'll watch some spider movies.
Some long legs.
Some
I
Spider-Man.
don't even think it's about spiders.
Who knows? We'll find out.
We don't know.
Well, I can't wait for the new Spider-Man with Nicolas Cage. See you next time.
Spider-Man.
Isn't it supposed to be like